Welcome back to our JavaScript tutorial series. In the previous video, we explored arrays data structures using movie recommendation app that allow you to store and manipulate collections of values. Check out the link in the description to watch the previous video. Objects are a fundamental data type in JavaScript, used to store collections of key value pairs. They are versatile and can be used to represent complex data structures, model real-world entities, and encapsulate related data and behavior. In this video, we'll explore various aspects of working with objects in JavaScript. Let's start coding, creating and initializing objects. There are several ways to create objects in JavaScript. The most common way is using object literal notation. Object literals are written in the form of key-value pairs, where each key is a string and each value can be any valid JavaScript data type. You can also create an empty object and add properties and methods later. Like we are adding make and model properties and start method, which is starting the car. Object properties and methods. Properties are key-value pairs that store data, while methods are functions that define the behavior of an object. Accessing and modifying object properties. You can access and modify object properties using notation or bracket notation. Nested objects. Objects can contain other objects as properties, creating nested structures. Here we create objects having the properties of the other objects. This process is called as nesting of objects. Nesting helps in handling complex data in a much more structured and organized manner by creating a hierarchical structure. Object constructors. We can create objects using a constructor function, which acts as a blueprint for creating multiple objects with the same structure. It is considered good practice to name constructor functions with an uppercase first letter. Here we have created an object type person. Now, we can create many new person objects. Jeremy and Zara are two person objects. We can also call the greet method on the Jeremy and Zara objects, which will output the greeting message based on the input name while creating a constructor. Prototypes and inheritance. All objects in JavaScript inherit properties and methods from a prototype. We can add properties and methods to an object's prototype, which will be inherited by all instances of that object. In our code, we are adding a new method called introduce to the person constructor. Then we are calling the introduce method on the Jeremy and Zara objects, printing their names and ages to the console. Classes. With the introduction of ES6, JavaScript added a syntactical sugar for creating objects using a class-like syntax. It starts with the class keyword, followed by the class name person. Inside the curly braces, the class body defines a constructor and a method called greet. Then we are creating a new object named Olivia and calling the greet method on the Olivia object. Object destructuring. You can extract values from objects and assign them to variables using restructuring. Our code defines an object named car using object literal notation with two properties. Then we are using object destructuring to assign the value of the object properties to the variables we listed. Equivalent way to achieve the same result without destructuring is to assign values to separate variables using dot notation. Spread operator with objects. The spread operator can be used to copy properties from one object to another or to combine multiple objects into a new object. Here we are defining two objects, car1 and car2, with property, model, and engine respectively. Then we create a new object named combined in which we merge two objects using spread operator. Let's understand all concepts with an example. Demonstration of this example will help you visualize the results of each code snippet. Here we have defined a displayOutput function, which is used to display the output of the code snippet. This code defines an object named person using object literal notation. It has three properties: name, age, and greet. Here we are accessing the name and age properties and calling the greet method, which is displaying the string, "Hello, my name is John Doe." This code demonstrates modifying an object property by changing the value of person age to 31. In this code snippet, we are defining another object named address that stores address information, then assigning the address object to a new property named address within the person object. This creates a nested object structure. Finally, the display output function shows the person's address by accessing properties from the person object. Here we defined a constructor function named employee that takes 3 arguments: name, age, and position. An employee object named emp1 is created using the employee constructor, providing values for the name, age, and position. And the display output function is called to show the employee details. This code adds a new property named greet to the employee object. Since emp1 was created using the employee constructor, it inherits the greet method from the prototype. Calling the greet on emp1 demonstrates this inheritance and prints the employee introduction message to the console. This code defines a class named vehicle. It has a constructor that takes 3 arguments. It also defines a method named getDescription that returns a formatted string containing the vehicle's year, make, and model. A car object named car is created using the vehicle class constructor, providing values for the make, model, and year. The display output function displays the car description using the getDescription method. Here we demonstrates the object destructuring using the spread operator. This code extracts the name and age properties from the person object and assigns them to separate variables, name and age. This code showcases the spread operator to create a new object based on an existing one. By creating a new object named updatedPerson using the spread operator to copy all properties from the address object, which is the nested object of the person object. Then, it adds a new property named city with the value New York to the updatedPerson object. The display output function displays the updatedPerson object with updated city, New York. Now you have a solid understanding of how to work with objects. In the next video, we'll explore the DOM manipulation in JavaScript. So, make sure to watch the next video to continue your journey in mastering JavaScript. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing and keep coding. I'll see you in the next video.